The valedictorian of the class of 2010, Karsch.
You know, I spent a really long time trying to decide what to speak about today. Like, hours and hours spent between staring at a blank Word document, Googling valedictory speeches, and making sure I did every last bit of homework I had. Well, that's not entirely true. Actually, that's not true at all, especially the homework part. I knew from the start what I wanted to talk about. That was easy. Hundreds of people eagerly clinging to the edges of their chairs, yearning for my every word. I don't see them here, but I knew exactly what I'd tell them. Unfortunately, writing and now giving a valedictory speech is one of those things where you realize that no matter what you say, someone's going to hate you. You breezed through the classes they studied really hard for and still did badly in. You played video games the night before the midterm and still aced it. You sound really pretentious making up all these examples. You're up at the podium, reading a bunch of words, and they're sitting in the background bored, hoping it ends soon, because it's been almost 2 paragraphs already, and you still haven't made your point. And on top of that, insert something oh, wait, I never changed that. At any rate, you can't please all of the people all the time. Abraham Lincoln said that, and he freed the slaves, so it must be true. I knew what I wanted to say,
Dad,
but
you messed up
how?
the whole video.
The how was the hard part. I considered rewriting single ladies, like class of 2010, class of 2010. But to include the backup dancers, I needed a fog machine to conceal their entry to the stage, which as you'll notice isn't very conducive of a dance. I contemplated how much Pokemon I've played over the past few months, and came up with an awesome analogy about how we're leaving high school, going off on our own, just as Ash Ketchum left Pallet Town. The Pokemon represent knowledge. Ash left with a little bit of knowledge, his Pikachu, which he used to catch other Pokemon, i.e. acquire new knowledge. Anyway, I stand here before you today for several reasons, and unfortunately, discussing Pokemon and philosophy is not one of them. Well, I suppose it could be, but there's only so much I can talk about, and I don't want to ruin your one and only high school graduation experience with my erroneous ramblings on life, the universe, and Pokemon. Or at least not all of yours. So, let's get serious for a moment. Okay, that was long enough. Getting serious would require, well, being serious, and that's no fun. Life in general is no fun if taken too seriously, and what's the point of living a life of no fun? If I knew, I'd tell you now in a really long and drawn-out manner. It's been an average length 4 years, because, you know, the Earth orbits the Sun with a fairly constant angular velocity. And looking back on it all, I can't remember any times during which I was not having fun, and not just because a very large proportion of memories never actually happened. If you take one thing away from this speech, I want it to be that no matter what you're doing, just have fun with it, especially because that's pretty much all I told you. And now, approximately 34 hours into summer, how many of you, be honest now, are having fun? Oh, you are? Good thing I wrote an alternate ending then. In this limited edition alternate ending, I've placed the part that everyone has been waiting for, the thank yous. Who will get the honor of being thanked this year? Will it be Albert Stark, who is not only the first to ask for a shout-out in my speech, but also the one who asked me the most times? Will it be Mr. DeFabio, possibly the only person here who can appreciate this S with a peach drawn on it, a peach with an S drawn on it? It's a good S-peach. If you don't know DeFabs very well, he's especially good at making puns. And I know what you're thinking, speak now or forever hold your peach. And what about my parents, for conceiving me and then training me to want to be the very best, like no one ever was? Or Satoshi Tajiri, for inventing Pokemon in the first place? And Mr. Sersha especially. As my freshman year teacher and math team coach, his fostering of my love for math has both literally and Euclideanly gotten me to where I am today. And I'm sure everyone else has a teacher about whom they can say something similar. A teacher who never gave them up, never let them down, never ran around and deserted them, never made them cry, never said goodbye until now, and never told a lie and hurt them. But I digress. And I apologize to Ms. Scanlon for using they and them as gender and specific singular third-person pronouns, as well as for starting 3 sentences in this paragraph with end. Now, to conclude, I'm going to copy what I did for my English portfolio this year and not conclude. This is not an end, but rather it marks a new beginning, and I'm done talking. Have a good summer, and to those of you I'll never see again but in passing, have a good life.
Thank you, Harris. And to entertain us now,